Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing okay. It is Saturday afternoon and it is 26 degrees Celsius in my room right now. That is not too bad, but it is also not particularly comfortable. So I want to get this video filmed, upload it, and then I want to take a nap. This will be, I think, the 6th episode of Proof of Life. And for the last couple of weeks, that is very much on vibe, I guess. I have been surviving. I have been trying to live my life amongst appointments, and I'm here to prove I did it. If we look through my notebook for the last couple of weeks, I believe we saw these pages, and then I think we need to start from... I revisited this page, by the way, from the off-print art book fair at the Tate Modern, because Elle of the Common Corner was kind enough to bring me a sticker of Maman by Louise Bourgeois, or Louise Borges, I'm not sure how you say it, but she picked me up a sticker. I didn't spot them when I was there, but she saw it and she thought of me, and I am very, very grateful. So I redid this page. Thankfully, I had so many extras of this sticker, and I added the sticker from the gallery. Super cool. So looking at last week, I was working on Undermoss, my new comic project, or like comic adjacent project. The second chapter is actually up on my website now if you want to read it. I did make a little community post, but I'll mention it here too, just in case. It's on my website. You can zoom in to read it. I'm not sure how best to upload it for reading at the moment, so bear with me while I work it out. Eventually, I would really like to make an old internet style website where you can point and click your way through it. I think it would be really fun to hide things in the pages, but obviously with everything going on, I'm very wary of biting off more than I can chew, which is something I'm really good at doing, and then just not managing to follow through and finish things. I'm trying to avoid that this time because I really want Undermoss to work. I really want to enjoy it and to share it and to, you know, keep on top of it. In doing so, I guess, I'm trying to keep it manageable as well. So at the moment, it's just on my website and you can zoom in, either by zooming in the entire web page or by opening the images in new tabs and zooming in that way. Just bear with me. But it's on my website. I'll put the link in the description, and I'll show you the updated pages at the end of this as well so that you can see. But basically the last couple of weeks, it's been Undermoss, meeting up with my friends and going to appointments. That's all it's been. And it's very much all been threaded together. So when I'm at home, I'm like hyper fixated with a capital H on Undermoss. So I don't have too many like journal pages, I guess, personal pages, but I do have a lot of cataloguing of my days otherwise. So when I do go out, those pages are documented in detail, and then you just have like days where there's nothing at all. But so my weekly spreads are looking kind of boring. It's mostly just me talking about Undermoss. There's a couple of photos here from the weekend, but we'll look at those later on. And there's a little sticker with the swirly eyes. For this week, last week, I only have one half of my media log. The reality is that I'm not consuming a lot of media while I'm hyperfixated on Undermoss. I'm literally just listening to like Silent Hill walkthroughs still. I am like 3 weeks deep into watching, I think, what must at this point be every single Silent Hill walkthrough on YouTube. I'm having a really good time. You know, everyone has a different take on it, which is really fun. But it's not a lot to fill in for my media log. Last week though, I did watch the new Prom Queen installment of the Fear Street Netflix series, obviously based on the Fear Street series by R.L. Stine. I thought Prom Queen was fun. It wasn't as good as the original trilogy of Fear Street movies they made. Those were phenomenal. It was a great time. And the fact they released them staggered was really exciting. They made kind of an event of it, and I really enjoyed that. I think it worked really well for that series. The fact they're making installments for everything now is annoying, but for Fear Street, I think it really worked. Prom Queen was fun. It was very slashery, it was very silly, it was very predictable. It was a bit sort of camp, I guess. I don't know if that was deliberate or accidental, probably somewhere in between. I think it was rated quite poorly online. But you know, you go into it and you just can't expect too much. And I didn't, and I had a good time. You know, it killed an hour and a half on an evening, so it was fun. I've also been rewatching the Netflix reboot of Unsolved Mysteries just because it makes quite good background noise if you're busy. I don't enjoy the murder episodes very much, but I do enjoy the more general unsolved mystery ones, like the UFO sightings. So I kind of skip through them and just watch the ones I like. You know, that's how it is. And then, as I say, blank page, because I think what I'm gonna do is fill the other half of that week with some music I've been listening to recently. I'm gonna add some screenshots, but I just haven't gotten around to it yet. It's been a very busy time, I guess. I've just been distracted and working on a lot, but I'll get back to it. This week, last week then, so that was the week before. Oh no, that's the same week, sorry. So last week still, this is my to-do list for that week, all the stuff I did. This is my obsidian map for Undermoss. I'm using like a Windows 95 theme. It feels very on brand for Undermoss. And it's nice to see it kind of all like analog, or not analog, but like vintage tech style. It's also very nostalgic from my childhood because that's how I grew up, and so it really fits with the general theming of Undermoss. Again, another little sticker here of a bunny with a keyboard. These are Jongo Inner Side stickers. This is the brand Jongo Inner Side. I'll put the link in the description. I get them from Journal Station. If you've been watching my recent videos, you'll be familiar because I'm obsessed with them. But I really like them. And then turning through, I have another mood board. I have some ideas for the kind of style I think I might like for the cover, something kind of minimal and holographic maybe, or foiled. I just think it would be neat. So I have a couple of photos of some zines here. I've written down the names of the zines here so I can't lose them. I just think it's a cool style. I kind of want to channel something similar, obviously not the same, but like that kind of vibe I think is kind of fitting for Undermoss. And then if I release multiple volumes, I just think it could be cool if there was like a little icon for each volume that kind of represents what's inside or something. I don't know. But I've been kind of just working through some thoughts, doing some research. And then on Saturday last week, I went to the Miso paper pop-up in London. I met a few people actually who recognized me, not for my face, but for my voice, which I'm kind of pleased about because I do quite like flying under the radar. I am quite introverted. So the idea of being recognized by my face by lots of people is kind of slightly horrifying in an introvert way, even though I put myself out here and I sit and talk to you guys. I don't know, something kind of scary about it. Not scary, but like, I guess like a little nerve-wracking. I'm never sure how peoply I am in person. I worry about it, and also like autism, so. But I met some of you and you told me that it was my voice that tipped you off, which is kind of fantastic, I guess. I didn't realize it was that distinct, but it was really cool to meet some people and talk, and everyone was so nice, and it was really fun. And Bronte was there too. I went with Bronte, met up with Elle and Joe, whose all channels I will link in the description. And I met some more people and some new people, and it was really fun. It was quite like a small event, I guess I would say. Just a little fun hangout, but like so many people went, and there were so many things to look at, and there were stamps, and it was just a really cute time. So I have a couple of the exclusive stamps. I managed to cut this one out carefully and put it on. There was a sticker that came with the tin that you got from the event, which I have put away. I don't have it to hand because I never have anything to hand. I have this sticker from the Superior Labor like Times Miso paper collab pop-up thing. It's really cute. It's like a brass ticket, and then it says on here like Miso paper, so it's a commemorative token, and I bought that for $10.50, which I think is really good. I didn't buy much else. I think the only other thing I bought was like some post-it notes, and I've lost them. I swear I put them on my desk. Oh, here. The only other thing I bought was these post-it notes, I think. I feel like I bought one sheet of stickers, but I'm not sure where I put them. And I also can't remember what they look like. I'm going through it. But these are really cute. I like these. They're little cat coffees. I just thought they were super adorable. I was quite pleased to not come away with loads of stuff. I don't have a lot of money at the moment, to be honest with you. I'm saving up, or I'm not saving up, but I'm keeping money aside to pay my taxes in a couple of months or in a month's time. And so I'm trying to be really careful, and because I'm having to pay for a lot of travel to appointments, it's a whole thing. So I just got a couple of little bits, and I'm glad, especially because I think sometimes when you just buy a couple of things, it makes them feel more special. It makes it feel more deliberate, maybe, I don't know, but I think this is a really nice one to come away with just because it does have the collab information and the pop-up. Yeah, I think it's neat. It'll be fun to see how it patinas over the years. I'm gonna find a way to attach it to somewhere, but I don't know how just yet. But that was the price sticker, so I peeled that off because it says it, Miso paper. Stamp stickers. I made myself this stamp rally page, not realizing of course that the stamps would be huge. These are the smaller ones, but like I have a couple of like travelers ones on a separate piece of paper, and the stamps were like this big compared to my like tiny page with all my little boxes. I think it was a fun idea in theory. I'm not quite sure it worked in execution, but it does look kind of cute, so it's not too bad. There's like a gachapon sticker that was there, which is cool because they had a gachapon machine. There's the Travelers Company one. There's a couple of stickers I got from Superior Labour that were free. This one is a stamp I bought afterwards with Bronte because I went to Present and Correct, and I found this cute little Lily of the Valley stamp. So I put that on there to fill some of the gap. This one came from a little like package of stickers that Bronte gifted me very kindly. So I popped that on there too. And that's from the envelope from Present and Correct because I picked up some more tape. And then this one is the re-entry pass. I think it was Elle who spotted these on the way out and asked if we could have a couple. So shout out to Elle because I did not notice them, but absolutely perfect bit of ephemera for the book. And so I added that on there too. I just glued the one corner down. So that's everything I picked up at the Miso paper pop-up. It's kind of a funny mix of ephemera, I guess, but I think I'm happy with how they turned out. It's pretty cute. And then on this page I have a photo of mine and Bronte's books. I think I have a tiny clip from that, my little filofax and her cousin, which is already very satisfyingly chunky. It's always very cool to see Bronte's books, to be honest. And we hung out and got some coffee after, and it was really nice. So that was the Saturday. On the Sunday, I had to travel to a different town, like 40 minutes outside of Oxford, to get an MRI. They rang me on the Friday afternoon and they were like, can you have an MRI on Sunday? And I was like, this Sunday? And they were like, yep. And I was like, I don't know, because it was my friend's birthday and I already had plans with her. So I said to them, when would the next appointment be if not this Sunday? And they said, well, it's a cancellation. So you can either take this cancellation or you can wait an ambiguous and unknowable amount of time for a reschedule. And I was like, okay, word, I guess I will see you on Sunday. So at like 2 p.m. or something on Sunday, I had to be in Banbury. Never been there before. It's all right, it's pretty green, but it was kind of, you know, a lot. Had an MRI, had a terrible time, didn't enjoy it. It all went fine, I just don't enjoy them. When you get your head scanned or your brain scanned, you lie down on the platform bed thing and then they put like a grid over your face and then they raise the platform all the way up to like millimeters from the top of the tube, with the grid over your face too. The whole thing is very claustrophobic, and I wouldn't say that I'm claustrophobically inclined. I am not too bad, but truly this is like, it will give you fight or flight. It's a grim experience. I've had them before as a child. There's something they're checking for this time that's related, so it's kind of just an ordeal. It was fine. Basically, as soon as I saw them coming with the grid, I shut my eyes. I was like, I'm not looking at that, I'm not dealing with that. And then I lay back and thought of Undermoss for like 20 minutes while they scanned me. And I did not open my eyes until they brought me back out and I felt the guy touch my arm. It was, you know, a lot. After that, I then travelled into central London to meet my friend for her birthday. We went to dinner with a bunch of her other friends at a plant-based restaurant in Soho called Mildred's. That was really cute, really fun, fantastic food, a bit pricey. And my brain was absolutely cooked from the MRI. I do not think I was on my best form. But it was really lovely to spend my friend's birthday with her regardless and to see everyone. It's one of those things, again, like I said the other week, where I think after medical stuff, it's just nice to have the distraction of friends, even if you're tired and it's kind of a lot to go out. Like, I think having the distraction and the hugs in the aftermath is kind of a relief in some ways. And then by the time I got home, it was coming up on midnight and I was exhausted. I just went to sleep. So, you know, it was all right. It was fine. Moving on to this week, I just have the first half because today is Saturday. I'm still working on my pages. Quiet start to the week. I was working on Undermoss, obviously. Finished it by Wednesday evening, which was perfect because on Thursday I met up with Luke, my brother, for the first time in a little while. I saw him when we got our tattoos. It's not been that long, but it always feels long. We went to Camden Town because we had tickets to see Half Alive at the Roundhouse. We both really like Half Alive. Actually, one of their songs, Automatic, accidentally became one of my like hospital anthems. So every time I have appointments or I'm feeling angsty or nervous or relieved in the aftermath, I just always find myself listening to it. The entire song is not applicable, but some of the lyrics just really resonate on their own. And it's kind of like, it just ended up being quite an emotional song for me. But we had tickets to see Half Alive. We met kind of in the afternoon and we walked around Camden a bit. We went to Cyberdog, which is always fun, very nostalgic for us. We went to, there's a guy in the very, very back corner of the horse market. It's like a tiny toy shop and he's just full of horror merch now. He doesn't know it, but I've been visiting him since I was a kid and looking at all his stuff and the horror merch. We popped in just as he was closing and he let us in and we looked around and ended up chatting to him for a while. Really nice guy. He was getting his wisdom teeth out yesterday morning. I hope it went well for him. But it was just a really chill, nice afternoon. In the evening, we got coffees at Blank Street because they now have a shop on that one corner by the bridge. You know, it's nice to, I mean, like Blank Street is a very London thing at this point. It feels kind of cliche to go there, but they have benches outside and so you can sit and people watch, and I rate that. So we got some coffees and we sat there for a long time. And then the gig started, I think doors opened at 6 or 7. We went in. It was good timing. We timed the whole day kind of perfectly by accident. Merrick Winter was the opener. He was pretty good, pretty cool. I think he said his music is mostly folk inspired and Americana inspired. I liked kind of the slower, spookier songs, like the sort of like eerie and moodier ones. I don't really like folk music very much. It depends, but generally it's not for me. But he was really good, honest, he was really good. And then we saw Half Alive. It was fun because when they first came on, they came on in the Sonny and Cher mask, which is what they call these two characters, for a moment, and they did kind of like a little performance and then they were helped back off stage to take the masks off and then they came on properly. And it was just really fun to see the characters from the album. And then the music, phenomenal. I've never seen them live before, but they sound exactly as they do recorded. They're so good. Vocals, hella strong. Performance, on point. The lighting and the staging, phenomenal. The dancers, immense. Like, the dancers deserve so much credit because it was absolutely amazing. So, had a really great time. They played Automatic, the song that I really like, I think like third or something like that. And it was incredibly emotional for me. Like, I didn't really expect, I don't know, I guess I should have expected it, but it really caught me off guard somehow. Like, I heard it start and then I just like, I don't know, you know what I mean when you hear a song live and you're like, good God, like this means everything to me. Like, I will never emotionally recover from this. It was really good. So that was Saturday. No, sorry, that was Thursday. And we came home just after midnight. Everything was cool. It was really good. Luke came to stay yesterday. I had a doctor's appointment unrelated to the hospital stuff, just a different thing. Underwhelming, but you know, we move, I guess. Today, Saturday, Luke just left a couple of hours ago. My dad is also now out, so Wednesday is grieving about the empty house, but I thought I would sit down to film. That's where I'm at with those pages. I will show you Undermoss quickly and then I'll show you some ephemera I have. So Undermoss is looking pretty good, not gonna lie. I've been updating some of the earlier pages so that the versions on the website are now final. I think you should have seen these from a few weeks ago. It's coming along really well. The salt marsh, the pylon field, and then the phone booth, and then we go to Miles's house for chapter 2, or like what I'm considering chapter 2. Miles is the ghost character I'm introducing, really fun. You might recognize him from the Somber Spirit Society. I kind of brought him back, mostly because when I was thinking before I started Under Moss, how it came about was that I was thinking about my Somber Spirits project, and I was thinking about how I could revisit it in a way that is not boring for me and that kind of lets other people be looped into it like fresh, because people have been asking me to reprint it. I don't know that I'm interested in completely reprinting it just because it's fun to work on new things, and it was a really expensive print run. But I brought Miles back, and that's kind of how I first thought of Under Moss. Was what if there was a whole town, and that was where it came from. So I brought Miles back. Really excited actually, because I think he's kind of a fun character. My dad and I have been referring to this chapter as like the exposition chapter. And it's been really fun to work on and kind of think about how he could encourage the protagonist, our character, to kind of keep looking around. So he is like tracking the anomalies in the town, and he's been looking through everything. So I got to draw a lot of ephemera, big map with the strings, some pylon pictures, which like pylons are really hard to draw. A fun sort of like poster about getting online and staying connected, some like time warpy type things, some plants. There's a forget-me-not, because he's dead. There's a sample of sphagnum moss on a slide, which is really fun to draw. There's some clustered moss and some lichen down here. And then like a scribble drawing of a tree as well, and then like some orb stuff. It's just really fun. A little newspaper clipping, a telephone pole. I snuck in the Will Graham clock for those who are eagle-eyed among you. And then on this side he gives us a phone so we can take some photos to send him so he can keep tracking things, since he is kind of like bodily trapped in the house. Really fun to draw that old phone. I think one of my parents had this phone when I was growing up. I don't think it was me, but I think one of them did. St. Anthony, because I like to sneak him in, and also because he's the patron saint of lost things, which I think is fitting for Under Moss and Miles as well as myself. So I like to loop him in. I've got some like samples in bags, and this one I think is a hawthorn branch, this one is a belladonna, and this one is a clover, obviously, just for fun. Some more moss down here with a pin in it. There's a silver lace fern. And some other sort of fragments going on. I drew Miles's desk, which was really fun and also incredibly hard. There's some Polaroids, a poster kind of tracking sort of like migration of birds. There's the radio with the static and microscope. There are some like folders and files, and there's papers falling out everywhere. So that was really fun to draw. The whole time he's kind of pitching his idea to you, like, you could stick around and help me out, and you're like, maybe, like, the town is kind of cool, I guess. And then it's like he's convincing you and telling you things. And then I drew him again, another Miles. I drew the like Xbox Connect ghost thing, you know, like from Ghost Adventures, just for fun. I thought that would be so funny. I don't know if anyone will understand what it is, but if any of you get it, please tell me. Please tell me you think it's funny. There are some color-coded plug sockets, the telephone wires, because that's kind of how he travels about the town in his like orb form, which you can see on this page. And then at the end you get kind of drowsy and he's like, why don't you lie down? And then it's like rest. And there are some more files, some more folders, and that's the end of the chapter. So that's where we're at, which means that next week I can go back to focusing on more of the town again, now that we have a reason to keep looking around. And we can have like a little camera screenshot for all the photos we send Miles, which will be really fun. I'm looking forward to it. So that's Under Moss. You can read it on my website, or Patreon as well. Obviously, I'm sharing all the work in progress on Patreon. So that's Under Moss, which is really keeping me going at the moment. Honestly, undeliberate, how would you call it? Unintentional. Completely accidental coping mechanism of the year, maybe of the century, because it's really gotten me through some stuff recently. It's really helped keep me distracted so that I don't think too hard about everything going on, especially things like very last minute MRI scans. So that's been good. Moving back then to my current pages, I have some ephemera to loop in, and I thought we could do it together, I guess. I have these cloakroom tickets from the Half-Alive concert. Managed to keep them. We didn't have physical tickets, which is such a bummer. Devastating. My brother sent me, he was like, oh, I'll send you the ticket, and I was like, cool, and it was a screenshot of the digital Apple ticket, and I was like, this is horrendous. So I just added the tiny screenshot down there. But I do have the cloakroom tickets, so what I might do is kind of glue them together like this, and then hole punch the pink one, and I think that might work. I don't know if I'll do that on camera. I feel like that's the kind of thing I'll mess up if I do it on camera, but I'm gonna do that later. You'll just have to trust me. I also have these bits of confetti from the gig. There were some red ones and some blue ones. When I was in the crowd actually trying to find, because we were standing where the red confetti fell, and we went over to the other side after it ended to get some blue confetti, and there were girls crouched on the floor saying, "I need this for my journal," and I was like, oh my god, one of us. Where there are dozens of us, I tell you. We're everywhere. There was a girl also who had an entire cup full of blue confetti, and I do not support that, because I only managed to get 2 tiny pieces. You have to leave confetti for other people. You can't have a cup full. It's not fair. But I hope she's doing something cool with it. So I might put these over here. You could kind of, if I just stuck the corner, you could lift them up. And then I think it's kind of fun, the colours across the page. What else do I have to show you? I have these gachapon from when I was in Camden. I should have filmed it, but I was so distracted mucking around with my brother. We did Dance Dance Revolution. It's not actual Dance Dance Revolution, it's like a knockoff. And it's not the other big brand either. It seemed to be like a weird off-brand because all of the music was so strange. The only song we recognized on it was Megalomania from Undertale, which was really hard to dance to. But he managed to convince me to do Dance Dance with him, you know, with the stamping. And it got kind of fun, I'm not gonna lie. Like, he won me over and I had a good time, even though I hate that stuff. We also played air hockey. And the gachapon in there, the Bandai Namco store this is, sorry I didn't mention, but there was this one, which are like these noodle snacks. I buy these from Starry Mart. It's like crisp, but they're noodles and they just come like in fragments, and they're kind of gross but really good. And I got one of those. It's like a squishy gachapon. This one is an not Animal Crossing, Tamagotchi one. I haven't actually looked at it yet. I think it's a zip wallet. It's pretty cute, to be fair. Like, that's kind of cute. I like that in his like circular house. I don't know what I'm gonna use it for. I wonder if there's a way to put it in my notebook. Like, maybe if I like used as a like one of these, you know, you could loop it on the front. Like, what is the point of using a ring binder if you're not gonna do that stuff? I think it would be really funny. Or maybe I could even just put the zip on the... Okay, we'll look at that, stay tuned. I will maybe stick these down quickly. Did I have the red one or the blue one on top? I think the blue one. Oh, maybe the red one. It's the kind of week where it's been long and really tiring, and I'm at the point where I can't feel my face and I'm feeling very indecisive. I think the blue one looked better. Do you know what? I'm gonna come back to it. I said we would do it together, but actually I can't commit right now. So I will take these to one side as well. The one thing we can do, I bought this in the Bandai Namco store as well, and it's just a keychain with like a crepe ice cream dessert. I thought the colors were cute. I just thought it was really fun, like for the summer. The problem being, I think this silver stuff happening here is disgusting. So I borrowed these tweezers from my dad. You might have seen them before. And I'm gonna take them off. Like, I don't need all of that. So there's just a lot going on. Like, we don't need that many links. I'm gonna take this one off. Kind of need a second tweezer. Or pliers, not tweezers, pliers. Because just using one is hard sometimes. Okay. And then what I found one of these. I think this is the last one I have. So I need to order some more, but I'm just gonna thread it through on here instead. That would be so much cuter. Yeah. Perfect. The best thing you can do as a journal girly if you like charms is have some of these I don't know how you call them, the little gold link chains, or silver if you prefer silver, or I don't know, copper if you can find copper ones. But the best thing you can have on hand is these little chains, and then you can make anything into charms, and you can take key rings off of things and then put them on new things. And what I'm gonna do, I think, is put it on the zip for my filofax. I just think it will be really cute for the summer. Okay, there we go. Maybe I'll put the other one on the top so that you can see it, but that's kind of my thinking for the summer. Just a little ice cream dessert for my filofax. I think it's cute. And then I think the last thing I have to show you today is my lovely friend PJ from the Journaling Potato on Instagram and YouTube very kindly picked me up a labubu, which is incredible because now they've stopped selling them temporarily. A couple of months ago, I think, and then we just haven't managed to match our schedules to be able to swap, basically. But she very kindly picked one up for me because I had never managed to get one, and she seems to have very good luck. She's managed to work out their schedule, or their previous schedule. And it arrived today, literally this afternoon. It was the best surprise, so thank you, PJ, if you're watching. I'm so excited. I figured I would just wait and open it since I was filming today anyway. And now that they're harder to get, maybe you guys can live vicariously through me, which is what I've been doing with other people for the last 6 months. I've been trying so hard to get one. I'm so excited. So I have the sticker for the little beigey one. Does that mean that's the color I have? Oh my god, I love him. Oh. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, when I saw the yellow color on here, I was like, oh, I don't know about that. But actually, he's just a little beige guy. Oh, he looks like a lamb. I'm so happy. I'm definitely not crying, but I'm really excited about him. I can't wait to put him on my bag with like a padlock so that no one can steal him, because apparently that's been happening in London. Oh, I'm super excited. His little face and his tummy. Oh, what a guy. What should we call him? I'm gonna call him Claude. I'm gonna call him Claude, or maybe Klaus. Does he look like a Klaus or a Claude? I'll think about it. Oh my god, what a guy. Big fan. Big, big fan. And now I have a little thing for my notebook. Haha. For my pages, my very empty pages this week. I need to do some more writing today. Okay, I think that's everything I have this week for Proof of Life. I hope you enjoyed it. Those are the small things I have going on. Filofax archive obviously going very strong, feeling very good still about my choice to switch back to personal size. It just reduces all the stress. I'm probably ready to archive some pages fairly soon, and I will do that in frosted binders, I think. Just because with the Franklin Covey binders, even though you can have a year of pages in one binder, I don't like that it's only 2 rings, which means that all your ephemera that's across 3 rings is like floating around. That was quite frustrating last year with my like travel ephemera. So I think I'm going to go for frosted binders. But when I do eventually archive, I will show you the process. I'm not quite ready to let go of these pages at the moment, so I will keep shuffling other things out until I'm ready. But that's all I have this week. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you're reading Undermoss, please. I'm having a lot of fun working on it, and I hope you guys like it. And I will see you in the next one.